Oh, welcome, by the way. We're going for another drive tonight. That was, I'm finding that the indicator lights seem to be getting smaller. Like that car over there, the Toyota, it's just a tiny little square, and this one's not much better. So with the brake lights on, the glare of the brake lights, and coming around from the street back there, it was pretty hard to see those indicators. So, and to me that's not good. Oh, one of the things that I was thinking the other day as I was driving along, it was sort of probably mid-afternoon or something, and cars were driving along with their headlights on, and cars drive with their headlights on for safety purposes, and so that you can see them more readily. Well, that's how the theory goes. But what I found was that because they've got their headlights on, their brake lights or their rear lights are also on. And that means as you're driving along, it's harder to see the other lights. So if they start braking, you may not notice as quickly, particularly if some of the smaller brake light areas. So, I sort of wonder whether or not how safe it is, because, for example, in areas like red light cameras, where there tends to be an increase in accidents because of the camera placement being there, and yes, I've read figures to say that that's the case, but it's never really mentioned. That they talk about the massive reduction, but one figure at table I saw the other day showed that there was a massive increase in rear end collisions. So, and that causes accidents as well. So you've got to look at it that yes, overall, it is a benefit, probably is a benefit, but it's important to look at the overall impact, not just the impact they want you to see. So, driving along with headlights, well, at night time, of course, you should have your headlights on after dusk. We're not quite we're pretty close to dusk, the lights aren't on. I've got my headlights on because as I came out of my street, the street lights are on, so when they're on, I put my headlights on. But turning your headlights on means for people at the rear, it's not as much contrast between being on and off. So for example, the left's car there, you can see the brakes come on very clearly. The right car there, yes, they do come up, but they're not as bright. And certainly if they're sort of riding their brakes as they come down, you won't see any difference whatsoever. So, whereas if their front lights their headlights weren't on, or then there would be far more contrast, and with more contrast is the ability to see when there's a change, because that's really what our bodies tend to pick up more naturally, is change. When things change, you see it more readily. I'm not a great person of spotting somebody in a crowd, and I always tell people that I know, look, if they see me, wave their hand, because I'll notice a hand waving, but I won't notice them sitting there. So I think it's rather funny, but that's just the way it is with me. So today I'm going on a little bit of a mobile phone seatbelt camera hunt. I don't like doing this as a one-off because I think it's a waste of driving. I like to do all my driving, which is part of my regular trips. So it's not a waste. It's the videos that you see correspond to the trips that I'm doing, or the trips that I'm doing corresponds to the video that I want to capture. So I combine trips all the time. I try to minimize just trips for the sake of the trips. But in this case it's a bit hard. I've been wanting to capture in the wild a mobile phone seatbelt camera. Now, it sounds a little bit weird, but yeah, I'm going to drive past it, you'll see it. Now, it might not be there, but it was there, it has been there for the last couple of days. So today I'm going to go past it, and hopefully it's still there. It could get packed up before I get there. That would be a real not great. So if it's gone by the time I get there, I apologise, and it will just be a waste of time, and you probably won't see this video. But if it is there, I'll drive past it, and you'll see the video, and we'll have a video of the mobile phone seatbelt camera on Plenty Road in Bundoora. But the real purpose today is I bought an infrared camera, a near infrared, not a heat camera, but an infrared camera. It looks like a pair of binoculars. They call them binoculars, but they're not binoculars. They've got one lens. It's got a screen on one end. The other end, which looks like the two binoculars look through, are not actually eyepieces. One is an infrared source, and the other one is the camera. So it's really a single lens camera. So a bit deceptive. Not the greatest quality that I've seen, but for me the purpose was that I wanted a camera that could pick up near infrared. Now this is the infrared that we use in our remote controls on our TV. So a lot of dash cams and cameras and mobile phones can pick up the infrared of the transmitter of your hand controller for the TV, and it can pick up the infrared. So I bought a camera which would allow me to capture that, and my aim is to actually go and take a video of the mobile phone seatbelt camera. These mobile phone seatbelt cameras use infrared, an infrared flash. So as every car goes past, there will be a flash of the infrared flash to capture the person's one from above and one from below, and it's excellent. Yeah, so it's to capture the internals of the cabin of the car, to see that you're wearing your seatbelt properly, at all, and properly, and that you are not touching your mobile phone. So now, because they're infrared, I can't see them. We generally, as humans, can't see that part of the near infrared. Sometimes you'll pick up a purplish tint.
Please switch on your lights.
And so we can't see them. So the only way that we can actually see these infrared flashes is to get a device that converts it into visible light, the light that we can see on for example, a LED display or a liquid crystal display, a screen. And so today we will hopefully be able to see if the mobile phone seatbelt camera is still there. Hopefully I'll be able to get a video showing cars going past and the flashes occurring. Now the other catch-22 with flashes is a normal visible flash from a red light camera is quite short. It's yes, if you think about the frame rate for a camera is about 24 frames per second. I think you need to go up to about 300 to 500 to actually get the individual flashes. So less than 1,000, but so not exactly. So when you see a video of mine,
please switch on your lights.
Where I've gone through a red light and you'll see the flash, it can be just pure luck that you get the flashes, the one or two flashes. There's two flashes when you go through a red light, but sometimes on the camera you won't even see any. In fact, going down Rosanna Road, I'm not sure what that guy's after. Anyway, going down Rosanna Road,
please switch on your lights.
I could actually see the red light speed cameras, and I think that they were in test mode, and flash, I could see it all the time. And as I'm going down, I'm thinking, so this will be a great video. I got home and on the dash cam there was nothing, not a single flash. And I thought, really? And so and then other times I get maybe one flash or part of a flash. It happens pretty quickly, and because a video is really just a series of still images as a sequence, one after the other, at 30 frames per second in my dash cam, for example, then you don't then that spot between the frames, a 30th of a second, is a long time in terms of a flash. So the now infrared flashes, I have a feeling, because I've seen them more often, I have a feeling that they're actually a little bit longer in terms of how long they flash for. Could be wrong, just could be pure fluke, but I've actually taken multiple infrared flashes on these mobile phone seatbelt cameras. So we'll see today. It could be the camera that I bought could be a total waste of time. But that's the whole point of experimenting, testing, checking things. It's a bit of fun. So hopefully not a waste of time. Anyway, I'll just be quiet now for the remainder of this trip, and I'll speak again when we see the mobile phone seatbelt camera. And thanks for joining me tonight. So we're driving. I did say I was going to be quiet, but okay, I'll be quiet. anyone that's not aware, when they come off this off ramp around this corner, it's 70 kilometres an hour, and during school times it goes down to 40.
Camera nearby.
But
Camera nearby.
there's a new speed camera, or a relatively new speed camera, and it's there. It is there on the left-hand side, and it's capturing a lot of people. So I think it's one of the top 10 cameras at the moment. So just be aware, because it's very easy to come off the freeway, misjudge the speeds, and not even see the 70 kilometre hour sign, and certainly not think that there's a school zone just there. So take care. Okay, just somewhere around here, I think it is, there is the mobile phone seatbelt camera. I might have, oh okay, yeah, I won't know. I'll drive down, maybe down to La Trobe University, and then come back. In any case, I've actually recorded it into the map, so it should come up. Yes, that's it there. There she blows. The mobile phone seatbelt camera. Now the second part of this trip, and the main reason for the trip from my point of view, is to get out and take a video of the mobile phone seatbelt camera from a distance using the infrared capable camera that I've got. So when I post these two videos, I'll provide a link between the two videos. So you've got the driving video with the mobile phone seatbelt camera, and you've also then got the associated infrared mobile phone seatbelt with using the infrared camera, so you can see the flashes. Hopefully, I won't know until I actually take that and view the footage. It'll be interesting to see.
Drive safely. Please switch on your lights.